What if you miss one Christmas, but you get the next 40? You know, it's well worth it.
In your words, tell me a little bit about what Rob's Ranch is.
Guys who walked in here feeling all alone when they got here, by the time they left, they had that sense of, I'm not alone. I've got other people in my life.
Well, good morning, Jeremy. I just wanted to connect with you today and talk to you a little bit about Rob's Ranch and the program there at Saya. So in your words, tell me a little bit about what Rob's Ranch is.
So Rob's Ranch is a Christ-based men's drug and alcohol addiction treatment center. Emphasis on Christ-based. We're also heavy on 12 steps as well. We believe in the 12 steps, Alcoholics Anonymous, and just getting guys back on their feet.
So there's several programs. There's the Saya program, and then there's a Purcell location, and then there's outpatient. But the Saya and the Purcell location, they're men's facilities only, is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yep, men only.
And so tell me a little bit about the Saya program. What's the time frame and what's the process usually for somebody to be admitted into the program?
Yeah, so we offer a 30, 60-day inpatient treatment. We take insurance, and we also take private pay as well. So really the easiest thing to do is get on the phone and call our number, and we can get you set up.
And what does the process usually look like if somebody's coming into the program?
So when they get here, generally we just get them set up. We do some paperwork, get them going, introduce them to their therapist, introduce them to the group. And then once they get here, they'll go through either a 30 or a 60 day. They have classes each day, start every morning off with chapel, morning meditation, some lectures in the morning over chemical dependency. We have big groups, which that's where a lot of the, I want to say, powerful stuff happens. You see a lot of guys that are coming here and they've suppressed all their feelings, and some of it goes back all the way to childhood. And we start digging some of that stuff out, and we work on it in groups. And sometimes in these groups, you'll see some really, really heavy emotions, but those emotions are healing. It's facing stuff that has been in there and has bothered us for a long time. And quite basically, we ran from it. But here, we face that stuff, and we get it out. And on the other side of those emotions and dealing with our pain is a big word we love, and it's freedom. So we have big groups at 11 and 1 o'clock. Afternoon, we have Purpose Driven Life class, which is Rick Warren, Saddleback Church, came out with the Purpose Driven Life book. Shoot, I was in high school 25 years ago, and it's a 40-chapter book on how we find out what our purpose is through God. So we teach that to the guys. Then in the evenings, we have some outside groups come and bring AA meetings, testimonial nights, just different stuff to try to feed into the guys. On Sundays, we do take them to church so they can get plugged in with the local church. Local church just loves on us and helps these guys along the way. But that's generally kind of their day-to-day operation, what they do while they're here.
So you said there's a huge part of this that is reviewing trauma and healing and opening up. And do you believe that the worship and faith part of that facilitates or helps with that process?
We do. We believe, you'll hear a word surrender used a lot around here. We've always surrendered to ourselves or to the world. We try to get to that point where we surrender to God, which that's what our chaplain, he does this. We try to connect with God, and basically that's a power greater than ourselves. And we start surrendering to different ideas, because our way of thinking has been messed up for so long because of the actions we have taken. And we just try to correct that thinking and make it more logical, what we're really supposed to be doing with our lives. And once you get that connection, it's hard just to not, surrender the rest of it, because good things start happening. Yeah. You start feeling better. And so, we believe it's a big part of what we do.
So surrender would be part of it. And also, would you say a lot of self-reflection and then self-responsibility? Because I think that, at least for me, when I'm talking to people that I know, sometimes they tend to point outward from themselves about all the problems in their life and all the problems in the world. And it's like, well, look inside. What can you do? And the 12 steps kind of has a part of that too. Is that right?
They do. Yeah. You hit the nail on the head. We have to own it. A lot of us do show up and we're like, it's their fault or that person's fault or it's not fair. I didn't get what I should have gotten. And, really it's just kind of counterproductive. That's the world owes me everything. Yeah. And so what we try to do is get the guys to reflect on what part they played in all of the stress, all of the disaster that's happened in their life. And when they can do that, then they start really saying, you know what, I played a part in this, and I've got to own these things. Now, these things that I'm owning, that's not me. That's not the description of me for the rest of my life. And then you go back to the 12 steps where you get to a point where you start making amends for those things, and the healing really starts there as well.
So they can be self-reflective and responsible, whether they know that they've got the support of Brotherhood and they've got the support of their faith in God.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Okay.
Faith in God and the Brotherhood that you see here, you can't help but walk around with a smile on your face, because these guys, they just get so close, and really it comes from each other being vulnerable, finally letting other people in, letting people know what's really going on inside. And through that, God's able to just make these connections. And, I spoke at a church this last week, and we had 9 previous clients that came through here, surprised me and met me there. And the whole time we're talking, it's yeah, we've stayed connected ever since we left treatment. We're going to meetings together. We go to church together. We have dinner with our families. And it's man, guys who walked in here feeling all alone when they got here, by the time they left, they had that sense of, I'm not alone. I've got other people in my life. I've got other people who understand the situations that I'm going through. And the Brotherhood, that's the connections that are made, it's remarkable. It's fun to see.
Yeah. So I haven't been to the Sayre location. I've been to the Purcell location. So does the Sayre location have land? Does it have a pond? Describe the facility a little bit?
No, we sit on about 3 acres. We're actually in town. It was an old nursing home at one point, so it's kind of the shape of an X. We've got clients down each hallway. We've got a big lecture hall for all the lectures and the big groups. We have a very nice chapel. Our kitchen is state of the art. We got basketball goals out back for the guys who want to play basketball, volleyball pit. Of course, we got workout rooms, TV rooms, theater rooms, stuff like that. No pool, but I'd love to have one. So
yeah, I've seen the pool. It's nice. It
is nice. Sure, it is nice.
So let's talk about timing a little bit, because we're going into the holidays. So maybe somebody's caring for a loved one or thinking about a loved one, or somebody's struggling themselves, and maybe they're saying, well, I'll put it off till after the holidays. Should they just act? Or what do you think about timing? Do they need to be ready? How should they approach recovery?
I believe when you are ready, that window closes, because we have an idea that we want help. But if you give us a little bit of wiggle room, we change that mind pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So if you have a loved one that is needing help, the biggest thing for me to say to them is, what if you miss one Christmas, but you get the next 40? It's well worth it. But we understand that families want to show up together and they want to spend time together, and it makes it hard during the holidays. But, the holidays are going to be tough on us, for whatever reason, for the rest of our life. It's something seasonal with guys who struggle with addiction. But being able to get help during the holiday season and really work on yourself, and then have that mindset, I'm just giving up one so I can enjoy the next 40 or 50, that's kind of the way I look at it if I was talking to a family.
Yeah. So whether it's an individual that's struggling or a family member that's observing that they have a loved one that's struggling, you encourage anybody to call to ask their questions.
Yes. Call and ask as many questions as you want. We got really good team. Sam Stutes, he generally answers the phone, answers all those questions. You can call out here. We do the same thing. And what I like about what we do is it's no pressure. We provide the answers that you're asking, and we just do our best to try to navigate and help, from standpoint of we want to meet you where you are and see what we can do, for you.
Well, thank you very much. I don't have any more questions today. I think that was really wonderful to be able to talk through some things. You've clarified some things in my mind. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir. Well, I appreciate your time, and I've enjoyed this conversation.
I appreciate your time too. And I think that in a future conversation, I'd love to talk to you more about the 12 steps and maybe go through them a little bit and clarify for people that may have some questions about what that even means.
Yes, that'd be great.
All right. Thank you very much, Jeremy.
Hey, thank you. Have a good day.
You too.